This ball of fire and black smoke raised concerns across Virginia about trains that haul hazardous materials so close to populated areas. 3 cars fell into the James River near downtown Lynchburg last week. No one was hurt. Those cars were carrying crude oil. One lawmaker in James City County is very concerned about those same trains that run on a local line. He talked to 10 on Your Side's Erin Kelly, who has this story tonight. Erin?
Well, that train that derailed in Lynchburg was headed to Yorktown, and it would have passed along the same tracks here in James City County. And that has had a lot of people wondering what would happen if it happened here. This CSX train was carrying crude oil when it went off the tracks in Lynchburg last week. Crews evacuated the area as firefighters waited for it to burn out. 3 rail cars and a still unknown amount of oil spilled into the James River.
My fear is loss of life. But I have that fear with any hazardous materials going up and down the roads in this community.
It's gotten leaders in James City County thinking. The train was headed for Yorktown and would have traveled the same tracks that passed through neighborhoods and tourism hotspots.
They go through some important historical and tourist locations like Busch Gardens, Colonial Williamsburg. Virtually everybody would be affected by an accident of any significant magnitude here.
Supervisor John McLennan says residents have sent him messages since the Lynchburg accident. They're worried. What if it happened here?
Well, I think what you can see is that the track is elevated above the roadbed quite significantly. There's a very sharp drop-off, and on the other side of the track it's even greater and backs up to a residential neighborhood. The concern there would be that if there were a derailment, the cars would actually fall several feet, and that would increase the likelihood of a more severe accident than otherwise might occur.
Trains have rolled through Barbara McDuffie's backyard for 40 years.
How do we stop it? We don't have any protection from what they're doing whatsoever. That train could fall here just as easy as anywhere else.
Now, the fire chief told me they've been talking about this since before the derailment in Lynchburg. He's going to be asking CSX more information about these trains. That's what the supervisor is also requesting, more information about just what's passing through here. We've also reached out to CSX. They've responded, but we are still waiting on their full response as to the safety of transporting oil through these areas. Now, coming up at 6, I'm going to have more information from the fire chief on how they would respond to an incident involving these oil trains, and also some statistics about how safe these kinds of transports are. Live in Williamsburg, Erin Kelly, 10 on Your Side.